Hello students and welcome to step 5 of chapter 13. Okay, what we're going to learn in this step is row span. Okay, this gets a little tricky, so we really need to pay attention here. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take truth or consequences and we're going to give it a row span of 2 because they visited truth or consequences twice, not only on August 9th, but on another date as well. So we're going to give it a row span of 2. So here's how that works. We're going to go to our journal.html, find the row truth or consequences, okay? And we're going to give the city itself a row span. So we're going to call it row span equals open quote 2. We want to have a row span of 2. Also in this row, we want to have the altitude have a row span of 2. Okay, so I'm going to say row span equals 2. Now you'll notice that this row also, this particular row also has a class right, and that's fine, okay? And then we also want to have the population have a row span of 2. Okay, the ones that have a row span of 2 is the information that's not going to contain 2 values, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. Row span equals 2. Okay, so we just gave the row span of the city, the altitude, and the population, because those 3 items aren't going to change. The date they visited truth or consequences is going to change. The temperature on that day is going to change, and the diner rating is going to change. Okay, so Control S. All right. Now, in order to fill in the information for the other rows, we have to add, after close tr, an additional row. Okay, so we're going to open a tr. And then we're going to open a TD. But remember now, we're not giving data for truth or consequences, but we are for the date. So that's the first one. Okay, we also want to create a class to keep things consistent of center here. Okay, so that's the open TD. Now this is the date. So the second day that they visited truth or consequences was August 27th. Okay. And then we're going to close TD. All right, now the next row that does not have information is the temperature. That one also has a class of center. So we're going to say TD class equals center. And the temperature on August 27th was 98 degrees. So we're going to put 98, close TD. And then the last row is the diner rating. So that one's also class equals center. And the diner rating on that day was 4 out of 5. Close TD. Now I have to close the row. Okay, so this row under this row fills in the gaps of the row span. Okay, so truth or consequences will be by itself, and it's going to show August 9th and August 27th. Okay, then it's going to show 93 degrees and 98 degrees, and then it's going to show this altitude, this population, and then 5 out of 5 and 4 out of 5. So let's see how that works. Control S to save this. Okay. There's no style that needs to apply to this because row span is a style in itself. So now when we refresh the page, you see that you have, they visited truth or consequences on August 9th. The temperature was 93 and the diner rating was 5 out of 5. And when they visited on the 27th, the temperature was 98 degrees and the diner rating on that day was 4 out of 5. Okay? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to build a table within a table. Tony and Tess were together for this visit on the 27th, and they each had their own rating of the diner. So we're going to put a table inside this table right here, inside this cell right here, I'm sorry. Okay? We're going to have a table inside this cell of the entire table. So here's how that works. We're going to go back to Notepad++. We're going to find the truth or consequences diner rating in the second on the August 27th row, which is right here, okay, this row right here. Here is the cell that we're going to change the data. So we're going to actually delete this information in that cell and replace it with an open TD, okay? And then we're going to open table. This is the table within a table. Okay, now I'm going to tab over just so you can see. Open TR, a new row. And then I'm going to give open TH, tests, close TH. And then I'm going to open TH for Tony and close TH. Then I'm going to close this row. And I'm going to open a new row. And TH. Tess's rating is 5 out of 5. This needs to be TD because the Tess and Tony is the header. This is the data. Okay. Close TD. And then open TD again. And Tony's rating is 4 out of 5. Close TD. And then, of course, I have to close the table row. Oops. And close the table. All right. And then, of course, you have to close the overall row, which is this one right here. Okay? All right, so now let's Control S and see how this looks. We're going to refresh the page. And now you can see that Tess and Tony has a table in itself in this cell. Okay? One of the things I probably want to do is center align the 5 out of 5 and 4 out of 5. So that's easily accomplished by going back here, finding that particular table within a table right here, and give it a class equals center. And then do the same thing over here. Class equals center. Okay? Control S, and now when I refresh the page, you will see that it's centered aligned, and we have a nice table, and a table within a table, and background colors every other row, and row span of 2. Okay, so that concludes the table portion. We're going to have one more step. I'm going to show you one more thing, and that'll be the end of Chapter 13. So that concludes Step 5 for Chapter 13. Thanks for watching.